So this morning I'm actually going for round 2 colonic. So if you watched my first colonic, you would have seen no bowls. It was a pretty intense experience because I think that I wasn't expecting such a big kind of detox reaction. But once I thought about it, I was like, this makes so much sense. I know I have some stealth infections and some stealth pathogens, things like Epstein-Barr virus, which could have resurfaced, things like Candida, which I know from hyphae and can get really toxic the longer that you leave it, and I reckon I've had that for decades and not known about it. Mold illness, and that being a chronic inflammatory response syndrome, I had all these symptoms that came back. When you do a coffee colonic, if it doesn't do anything, if it doesn't make a difference to you, it doesn't work, that's when you apparently no longer need it. So I obviously need coffee colonics, and like I said, this is actually the month. So I've got a period now. This is the month where from here on out, I'm ready. I'm ready to fall pregnant. I'm ready to have another baby. So this is my last chance to get a coffee colonic, and I just wanted to do a second one because I'm curious to see what happens. I'm curious to see, do I have a similar reaction? Do I have a more intense reaction? Do I have a lessened reaction? What's interesting is that it will be quite similar in that just before my previous colonic, I'd binged chocolate for Easter, and then we just went away for my mum's 60th down the south coast, and so we did that sort of similar binging on cheese and chocolate and that kind of stuff. So I actually think it's quite a similar setup in terms of the prep for this colonic, because when you do a research experiment, you want to keep things the same as much as possible so that you can identify, okay, what was the real thing that made the difference or that made the change. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing today. So coffee colonic number 2, and I am feeling a bit inflamed. I'm feeling similar to how I felt when I got my last one, but the difference is where I'm at in my cycle. So I'm on my period this time. Last time I was just about to ovulate. So this will be really interesting. I'm really curious to see. Okay, Billy needs my help. I'll be back. Show us your outfit. Beautiful. Billy's coming too this time. In terms of prep, in terms of what I'm eating, I'm just gonna have, before my coffee colonic, I'm just gonna have stewed apples, just so it's something soft and easy. I've not had a coffee colonic in the morning. Actually, that will be one more variable that's different from last time. So I'm gonna have that for breakfast. And yeah, and then I'm gonna have my coffee colonic pretty soon after that. But I'm hoping that my body will digest that because it's stewed apples, so it's already cooked. So I'm about to go in, but I'm not gonna bring my camera because I showed you guys this whole setup last time. So just go and have a look on my What's a Coffee Colonic vlog from last time. Oh god, oh so itchy. Look at this. I think I'm getting some perioral dermatitis. Eek. But yeah, I'm because Billy's coming. That's going to be a situation in itself.
Mommy, I'll put my shells in
to organize. Great, sweetheart. We're going to bring those?
Yeah, all of those.
Fantastic. Anyway, I will definitely update you on how I feel afterwards, because I definitely felt different immediately.
Mom, look what I found.
Wow. But then a few hours later, I felt good. And then the next day, that's when I had all of my symptoms came out. So I am going to try to track that same journey. Anyway, there you go. You hold that. Let's go.
Yay!
See ya.
See you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. See you soon. Bye-bye. See you soon.
And we're done. Whoa. Please don't throw shells in the car. Goodness gracious.
It's gracious.
Billy, how do I feel, do you reckon? I feel good. I feel clear-headed. I feel... I mean, I also had my period, so... But it's
poo-poo in your pants.
Well, no, because that's the whole point. Is they take it out for you. They take it out for you. So I was able to hold it the whole time. So you do the water first, and then you hold the coffee for 15 minutes. And I was able to hold it for the full 15 minutes. And I was also able to do a long fill. Apparently that's a good thing, which means it probably really sits in your whole colon, gets your whole colon, loosens up any stool that's hard in there and gets it out. So yeah, I'm really interested to see if it affects my sleep, but I will do another de-stress tea tonight to just make sure that the coffee enema doesn't affect my sleep, because I don't normally ever drink coffee, ever. And the second thing that I'm interested to see is, like, I feel good now. I feel like my skin's quite hydrated and the skin on my face is quite hydrated. But knowing that this is going to help my liver start detoxing harder, I'm interested to see how my body reacts, like, kind of in the next 24 hours, pretty much. Nana. Okay, now off to Nana's house.
Mommy.
So, toodaloo. So, second coffee colonic, super interesting. And here is what I have learned. First of all, my symptoms were not I didn't have as big a detox reaction, which, like, sometimes people call it herxing, because it's a Herxheim reaction, where basically it's like your body gets, like, hit with a big load of toxins that you're trying to release and your body can't handle it, and then you get all these symptoms. And that could be like headaches, fatigue, rashes, constipation, diarrhea, like noticeable changes. What I did notice this time around was that I wasn't as affected as I was the last time around, and I noticed a really quick improvement in my dyshydrotic eczema. So that actually looks a little bit more red on camera than it is in real life. But that's pretty much all that's left, which is pretty amazing considering what it looked like in the last vlog. I've had issues with it for about 4 months now, and I came to understand that it was a detox issue, that it was like toxins that were sitting on my skin that were irritating my skin. You know, the rain in Sydney, the mold, the leak in my house, the symptoms that I experienced, which matched the symptoms that I had when I was pregnant, which I was living in a moldy house at the time. You know, everything was lining up and making sense. And for me, it's like, I don't mind what happens as long as it can make sense to me, then I'm good, because it's more the, like, not knowing that kills me. But with this second one, I didn't film it because obviously Billy was with me and it would just have been chaotic and crazy. But I did feel like really clear-headed, like a lot of clarity mentally, which is the same as what I experienced last time. But interestingly, about an hour after I finished, I was actually quite tired. And I think that was just my body just going, hey, can you just chill so I can use up all your energy to actually, like, clean up some of these toxins and start these detox processes. So I had a bit of a lazy day, not lazy day, like, as in I didn't train. I sat on my computer, had a lot of work that I had to get through. So I did have to do that work, or I did choose to do that work, I should say. I did, though, notice that, yeah, I was tired. I didn't have to have my de-stress tea in the nighttime because I just basically, like, conked out at night. So that was really interesting. My sleep has been, like, deeper. It's a bit tricky because I'm actually sleeping in Billy's room at the moment because of the mold in my room, or the potential mold in my room. I'm still waiting for the results. The mold expert came and, like, sampled my air in my house, in my bathroom, in my room, and then he also did an outside sample, compare the difference. So I'm still waiting on those results. I'll definitely update you on what happens with those. And it was just super interesting because being in Billy's room, you know, my sleep quality is better, but I wake up more frequently because obviously she wakes me up. She needs to go to the toilet, or she's sneezing, or she's coughing, or something like that. I do recognize that she is likely also affected by the mold, but because she can't do coffee colonics at 4, well, I mean, maybe she could, but, like, what 4-year-old is going to sit there and get a coffee colonic or even a water colonic? Like, it's not happening. So instead, I'm just going to wait until I buy all my supplements, which I will do soon. But I want to be sure that I'm pregnant before I buy the supplements so that I know which supplement protocol to get. So lots going on, but one interesting thing, I think the most interesting thing was that I didn't have a big rashy reaction. I definitely noticed that I have perioral dermatitis now. So I've never had it really before until I've started having these coffee colonics. Now I'm like, my perioral dermatitis. But yeah, I've noticed it sort of come up a little bit more here, and I have got, like, spots up here on my like my cheekbone. But all in all, my skin's looking and feeling just less irritated, which is nice. And the really interesting thing that I noticed, apart from, like, being like, I got really tired, I swear it was so bizarre. Obviously with mold, sinuses becomes an issue, and I've had sinus issues my whole life, and I do actually look back now and think that's probably mold, or it's dust, and mold lives on dust, so it was mold that was affecting my sinuses. And then for my sinuses, Like, I'm sitting in the car. I was driving to mum's, which was about an hour later. Same time I was feeling really tired. And it was almost like a burning sensation through my sinuses. Like, almost, I was like, something is happening. Like when you eat wasabi. You know when you eat wasabi and like your nose clears, but it also burns? That is exactly the same sensation that I had for my nose. Super interesting. I definitely feel better in general. Yesterday I had like one of the best days like of my like everyday life. Like for a normal day, I had one of the best days I've had in years. And I had obviously had the coffee colonic on 2 days ago, and yesterday, which was the day after, I had a freaking amazing day. I was just like high vibing. I felt great. I didn't feel inflamed. You know, my brain was working really well. So I had a really great day. Today, I'm a little bit more tired, but I got woken up a lot by Billy last night. So, you know, but I'm even like in terms of like motivation, my motivation is good today. Like I'm going to sit down at Ruby Lane, my favorite place ever. I've got a lot to do, like a meeting with potentially a small marketing agency, maybe look at, you know, how can I sort of better create awareness for FlowFit. I had an amazing meeting yesterday, and for that meeting I have to send the woman that I had a meeting with something today, so I'm going to work on that today as well, pay a few invoices and pay my assistant. And yeah, then tomorrow it's back to Ruby Lane and just a few meetings just for like fun stuff for FlowFit. So it's actually been like lately I've really been enjoying life, and it's been like more fun. Those 2 years was just such a slog because it was like I'm such a people person that being able to like not doing one-on-ones anymore and being able to just like interact with humans, you know, as humans we just thrive with that. So it's just like nice to have human interaction and just have like meetings with people, to be honest. Like I would just have meetings and be like, what's up? So anyway, that was the update with my coffee colonic, and I definitely want to try if I can afford it, because like it's not like it's cheap, but it's definitely worth it, especially when you're doing it with somebody who knows what they're doing. Like I always think pay for the value. I do definitely want to try and squeeze it in before I ovulate. That would be really cool if I could do that. I just feel like my egg would just be like chef's kiss. Like that's what I think. Anyway, I'm hoping to fall pregnant this month. I feel like I'll fall pregnant this month. Look, the mold issue in my house, it's hard to say. This is why I spend a lot of time out of the house anyway. I don't think I'll let it affect me if the results come back and it's like it's high mold. I'm not going to let it affect me. I'm not going to stress about it. I'm just going to go, you know what? Okay, that's it. I just have to express ship my supplements and just get to it and detox Billy and detox Gus and just get it remediated as quickly as possible. And if it can't be remediated, we just move as quickly as possible. And that's it. And not to stress, because life cannot be perfect when I'm pregnant, but at least this time around, I already have experience and it's not like I'm going in blind. So I'm very grateful for my previous mold experience, knowing that I'm very susceptible to mold and biotoxin illness. Go and listen to my mold episode. It is out now. It is episode number 7. And it is just like, this is like, if you have heard me talk about mold illness and you're like, what is she talking about? This is going to like really shape it up. This is like intro to mold illness. And I share with you like what kind of symptoms you might be experiencing, how you can get tested, where mold might be in your house, just like the kind of like overview 101. And if you have any questions, of course, you know, you can always inbox me. I'm always on my DMs. I'm always trying to make sure that every single DM is read. So I do my absolute best. Like really, I just want like 0 notifications. So I'm like constantly on my DMs, like voice messaging and talking to people. So do ask me questions. I am there wanting to help you. Have a great day.